And welcome back to American Agenda. Bob Sellers here with Heather Childers. Well, as New York Governor Andrew Cuomo denies sexual harassment allegations, it's been revealed by Attorney General Letitia James' investigation that a top communications manager at Facebook helped Cuomo fight sexual misconduct allegations. This includes helping leak confidential files about some accusers and participating in regular discussions about Cuomo's communication strategies. Let's see what the panel has to say about this. Ted, you've worked in the government. This seems completely inappropriate somehow to me. Am I wrong?
A little inappropriate. It's outrageous that Facebook, that government would be using Facebook to go after their enemies. It kind of sounds familiar to what the Biden administration has announced that they're going to be doing. And for Chris Cuomo to be defending his brother all of this time and giving him advice after he spent 5 years falsely accusing Donald Trump of all of these things, and now to have it come back that it's his brother that's been doing this, that's got to be rather awkward for this CNN talk show host.
Yeah, in fact, I want to get your reaction to this. Andrew Cuomo's brother, Chris Cuomo, the aforementioned Chris Cuomo, now facing tough criticism as a CNN host, resulting in somewhat of a credibility problem. Many questioning his role in the sexual harassment scandal with his brother since Chris admitted he was part of the team advising Andrew Cuomo. Melanie, a lot of people say, why is he on the air, and doesn't this hurt the credibility of the entire network?
I never really looked at CNN as a network that had credibility, so it was kind of a tough question. But no, in all seriousness, it's absolutely crazy that Chris Cuomo is still on the air. The fact that they had him on the air last night, in light of this most recent news and the release of this report, it is really just bad management on their part. How can Chris Cuomo have any credibility whatsoever? Why did they even let him interview his brother, Andrew, all last year? That was a major conflict of interest, and they allowed it to happen. I agree. That makes it very hard for anyone to take CNN seriously as a news organization.
Yeah, because, Jessica, there were thousands of people dying, and they're doing shtick on the air last year. Now, Chris Cuomo's defending his brother. I don't usually like to criticize anchors at cable networks, but there's something wrong with that. And you're somebody that worked for years in the media.
I did, and you never want to be the news story when you work in the news. And Chris Cuomo has done a wonderful job of making himself not only a headline, but also an accomplice to all of this. What he should have done was do the viewership of CNN a justice and remove himself from covering the story from the beginning. But rather, blood is thicker than water, and here he is backing his brother.
Yeah. Now, Heather, would it be okay if he backed his brother? I'd have a tough time backing somebody with the allegations he has against him, Andrew Cuomo. But would people have less of a problem if he stepped away from the network and just said, I'm taking a leave of absence?
I think that it would be better for him to just be honest about it, and I think that it would be better for the network to actually address the elephant in the room versus having, Chris Cuomo's show come up for an entire hour and not mention what is arguably one of, if not the top news story of the day. So I think that would be a starting point. And then the other issue that I had that I was going to talk about is this Time's Up organization, because out of all of this, this really disturbs me too, because this organization was founded to help women who are facing, sexual harassment from an employer. But at the same time, there's evidence now that came out from Letitia James that they were in fact supporting and trying to help guide how Governor Cuomo would respond to these allegations. So all the way around, it seems like there were a lot of forces working against all of these women.
Yeah, holding the government accountable, I think that's part of what cable networks are supposed to do, and that's just not happening here. By the way, I don't want to get too inside baseball here, but Mayor Bill de Blasio of New York having some strong words for Governor Andrew Cuomo. Take a look at this.
11 women systematically wronged. 11 women affronted by a powerful guy who could crush their career and their reputation, and he's the kind of guy that everyone assumes would if you crossed him. And he harassed them. He assaulted them in several cases. It's not even close. And then he has the audacity to say, oh, I like to hug people. I mean, that's just out of touch with reality, but it's also profoundly disrespectful. How about saying, I did something wrong? I have to atone for my sins.
Now, Heather, he's not the most popular mayor, but is that the first step toward announcing for running for governor?
Yeah, let's hope not. If we're still going to be living in the state of New York, let's hope not. And that's all I'll say about that. I mean, Bill de Blasio has got a lot of issues on his own plate that he needs to deal with. So we'll see if he runs for governor of New York. The grass isn't always greener. Is that what they say?
Yeah. Yeah. Indeed. I don't know. It's going to get ugly, I think.
All right. Well, Melanie, Collette, Jessica Curtis, and Ted Harvey, thank you all for joining us.